who I am to judge
Okay.
what kind of leader Thai people want. I don't know why we are all Thai and they have a conversation in English. Don't you think it's weird? I want Thai people to feel comfortable with English. Speak English in your own way. We are made to believe that language doesn't belong to common people. English language belong to elite.
Do you think we are Datarit now?
Let me think.
คุณผู้ชมคุณผู้ฟังครับวันนี้คำนี้ดีมีคำพกาครับสวัสดีพี่แขกครับ
สวัสดีค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
ขอบคุณมากๆรู้สึกตอนนี้ฮอตมากๆ รายการเต็มวันแล้วก็ใครๆก็ต้องการตัวนะครับ
พูดเองนะ
ขอบคุณมากๆที่ให้เวลากับคำนี้ดีครับพี่แขกวันนี้เราคุยกันภาษาอะไรดีครับเราเป็นช่อง2ภาษาแปลว่าพูดภาษาอะไรก็ได้
พูดภาษาไทยก็ได้พูดภาษาอังกฤษก็ได้
ครั
ใช่
บ
ไหมคะ
ครับ
I'm quite surprised that you invited me in your program because I guess that or every guest in your program must be very fluent in English but not me
But not everybody though yeah and
ค่ะ
not all the time we can talk in English แล้วเราก็สวิชมาภาษาไทยก็ได้
ใช่
พี่แขกรู้สึกแปลกไหมกับการที่เป็นคนไทยแต่ว่าต้องมาคุยภาษาอังกฤษกันรู้สึกยังไงค
You
รับ
know that I make fun of your program in my program
Really how did you make fun of our show
Because I have a program called ซ้ำลืม
ซ้ำลืม
we talk in Chiang Mai language in
ครับ
คำเมือง
in คำเมือง
and I just talk to my audience that I don't know why we are all Thai and right now you know the standard and another one aim
aim
workpoint
Workpoint
today
ครับ
all of them have a kind of show that invite guests and they have a conversation in English don't you think it's weird
because we're all Thai we don't need to talk in English
we are all Thai and somehow I think English is a kind of social status
do you think so
right
okay
when you show the people that you are fluent in English you got some credit like you are not a stupid red buffalo or something like that
Oh so it's not just about communication but it's social status
For me, it's a hint of social status. Well, I just make fun of you and Em. And
It's my honor that we got you make fun of us.
Every news agency have a program that they invite a guest and speak to each other in English. Right now, รายการซ้ำลืม we are going to practice how to speak English. I try to speak English
Okay
all the time in that episode in Sam Loom that I will try to speak English even I can speak English palatly you know palatly
What is that?
palat
Palat
means
is a คำเมืองใช่ไหมครับ
is คำเมืองอู้ไทยปลัดเมือง like I'm from Chiang Mai my native tongue is คำเมือง and I try to speak Thai fluently and somehow I don't know this is not a Thai language but I thought I mistaken it as a Thai language like กระเป๋าพี่มีไหนมีไหน
เคยได้ยินเรื่องนี้บ่อยมาก
ใช่
มีไหนเนี่ย
มีไหน
รู้เลยกับเมืองแน่นอน
ใช่ใช่
ครับ
so well I can speak English palatly
ปาลัดลี่ Oh that's our word of the day ปาลัดลี่ I like that yeah
Well, seriously, I think it's a good start that we have a talk show among Thai people and we speak in English because I always think we better embrace English as our language as well. I even wrote in my article once that in Thai education, we better to start include English as a national language. Why not?
Okay
Because English is not belong to American. English is not belong to British. English is not belong to Australian or Canadian. It's not belong to anyone specifically originate their root.
yeah
Identify themselves to English, but
Right.
now English is a kind of world language, and English have a hybrid. I mean, they hybrid the language with the local language.
Yeah.
Like,
Singlish, Tinglish, right?
True, and we better stop looking at English as a colonizer's language. When we think this is a colonizer language, this is a kind of power, and we have a inferiority complex.
We have some sort of attitude toward the
Right.
English language.
And then the social status come along.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, because of course we are talking to the world, not just among ourselves anymore, and we have to
Right.
listen to the world too, and that's why all the more reason for us to start using more language. พี่แขกบอกว่าอยากจะให้ include ภาษาอังกฤษเป็น national language.
We can have English as a national language, and first we stop thinking or looking at English as a colonizer's language. Then look at it just another language that it can be even easier than Thai. Can you imagine if you are a kid, if you are children, you are like 3 years old, 4 years old, you have never have a preconception which one is easy,
Okay.
which one is difficult, and you compare Thai language and English language. Thai language, you have 44 characters.
Yeah.
English, how much you have?
26. Only 26.
Much easier.
Yeah. It's a very interesting point. So if we have no preconception or no attitude towards like what is good or what is bad, of course humans tend to pick something easier to use.
ใช่ and can you imagine that we stop telling our kid that English is something else. English is our language as well.
Never thought of it that way,
Embrace
yeah.
English to be our own and use it as we like, and nothing right and nothing wrong. You think about it and you express it as you like and in your own style, and you start learning English in a various kind of English, not just a standard English.
Oh.
I mean, not just American English, not just a
Yeah.
British
Or the textbook
accent. And I
English.
don't know what the fuck of British accent. I have no idea.
Okay.
ใช่ไหมล่ะ
Yeah.
And we have a Nigerian who speak English.
Exactly.
We have people all over the world who have been
Indian.
colonized
Yeah.
by British Empire, and they speak English, and then they started to blend that English with their own culture. Right?
That's
And
true.
we have various kinds of English idiom in various culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
And someone said, like in American idiom, they have so many idiom that refer to sports.
Yeah. Like baseball or American
Hit
football.
something.
Yeah.
But in any other cultures that they go crazy in sport, they have different kind of idiom in English.
True. Maybe food.
According to their lifestyle.
That's true.
Like
Yeah.
Filipinos English,
Yeah.
they speak differently. Like take home,
Yeah.
like you grab some food and and
Oh.
what did you say in standard English?
To go or
ซื้อ
yeah, take
ซื้อ
away.
กลับบ้านนะ take away.
Take away. Yeah. Or yeah.
Filipino say
Or
take
to
home.
go. Take home, right? Yeah. So it's
And
different.
understandable, right?
Very. Yeah.
ก็พูดภาษาอังกฤษในแบบที่เราอยากพูด and for me spend my energy on the accent is very tiring.
Yeah.
Tired.
I think it could be your nature way of expressing your language. You can speak in any other, like any accent that you want. You don't have to try to sound like someone who is
Native.
considered native. Yeah, you don't have to do that. ดีครับเป็นประเด็นที่เมื่อกี้ผมชอบมากที่พี่แขกบอกว่าเรามาคิดเรื่องภาษาอังกฤษที่เป็นภาษาของเราด้วย ไม่ได้คิดว่า
You
ถ้าสมมติ
have
เกิดมีภาษา
ใช่
นี้แล้วจะทำให้ภาษาไทยนั้นล่มสลายไป
You can speak Thai, you can speak English in Thai way.
Yeah,
Just embrace it into us.
that's true. Wow. So that's like the individual level ใน level ของพวกเราทั่วไปชาวไทยที่ใช้ภาษาอังกฤษ แต่ตอนเนี้ยหลังๆคำนี้ดีได้คุยกับ คนที่มีโอกาสจะได้เป็นผู้นำในยุคหน้าเราไม่ใช่รายการ political show แต่ว่าเราได้คุยกับนักการเมืองเพราะเรารู้สึกว่ามันก็เป็นเรื่องที่ใกล้ตัวมากแล้วก็หนึ่งจุดของนักการเมืองที่สำคัญคือ communication so you have to be able to talk to your people and other people from every part of the world และถ้าสมมุติจะทำอย่างนั้นได้ภาษาอังกฤษก็เหมือนจะเป็นเรื่องสำคัญคนก็บอกว่าผู้นำยุคใหม่โดยเฉพาะผู้นำประเทศไทยยุคใหม่ต้องพูดภาษาอังกฤษได้พี่แขกเห็นด้วยกับ statement นี้ไหมครับ
Well, I think this question sounds strange, sounds a little bit weird for me because it's like we look at English as a tools of power.And because we think English have a higher status than any other language.
So what if I change my question to is it necessary for a Thai leader in the new era of the world to be able to speak more than two languages or more than one language? Is it better from your opinion? So I don't mention English anymore, but that more than one language.
When I listen to your question, what I did ask myself is who I am to judge what kind of leader Thai people want. We are going to change this question a little bit. First, we got to make a clear statement that English is not or speak foreign language or the ability to speak 2 languages, 3 languages, 4 languages is not a minimum standard for people who are going to be a leader. The standard or the requirement for being a leader or a prime minister is you got to be a politician first.
Oh, okay.
You got to be a member of political party. You got to be in the election and you got to present yourself to Thai people in an election and you convince people why Thai people better to choose me to work for you.I can speak English, I can speak Japanese, I can speak Chinese, I can speak French, I can speak Spanish. You like it or not? And if Thai people said, no, not at all.
Okay.
You can speak only Thai and you can have an interpreters with you. We have money to hire so many people to speak whatever language for you. But if you are very good to work for me,you have a very attractive policy. I better choose you over any other candidates who speak English far better than you. See?
So that's not the priority.
I mean, not even a requirement.
Okay. So not a deciding factor.
Right. In a constitution, the one which I disagree,absolutely disagree is the คุณสมบัติ for a candidate สส you have to graduate at least ปริญญาตรี what the fuck
Yeah so you don't agree on that
I'm not agree on that just you are Thai สัญชาติไทย Thai nationality and anyone can be candidate for representatives for prime minister but it depends on the people we have 2 candidates one is PhD and one is ป.6 and some people choose PhD some people choose ป.6 we never know so let the people choose what kind of leader they prefer
at that moment
at that moment so the ability like you can speak English fluently the ability you can do so many things it will be attractive or not I can't say in the name of Thai people but in my opinion communicatable in any language is important so when you go to หาเสียง if you cannot communicate
Yeah.
if you cannot
If you don't make
transfer
sense.
your
Yeah.
idea to people won't choose you or people won't look at you people just laugh at you and you can see in news every day we laugh at Prayut almost every day and every time he say it's not his problem is not about language skill
It's communication.
it's communication and how he organize idea it's how he organize his thought
It's not a matter of which language,
ใช่
but the language.
the language is a comprehensive ability comprehension he can comprehend anything in my opinion because he can comprehend anything so he can transfer his idea to the language whatever language
Yeah. For a lot of people, this is very new. I mean, new take on the English language. I agree with you that sometimes when we speak language, people tend to look at that person speaking language as someone who's more capable, but not necessarily for politicians, because their job is not to speak English fluently and period, right? They have to prove themselves to be capable of working for the people and let the people decide whether or not they want someone who's good or not good at English. Maybe, like you said, that might not be a deciding factor at all, and that's democracy. Just let the people choose and just communicate your idea like as you wish to make people understand what you're all about, what you stand for.
I think people who have a clear mind, a clear thought, and well organized the idea in their brain or in their mind, they can transfer their idea clearly. They can speak any language.
แต่สำหรับพี่แขก obviously you speak English very fluently and you can use English as an effective tool to communicate your
My
thoughts.
English is terrible.
Your English is not terrible at all.
My English is terrible because I have never learned English as a main language in my life. I learned in Thai school and have never studied in country that use English as a main language.
But I think you can use English at your will. Like whatever you want to convey, to say, you can say it in Thai and English.
ค่ะ
I think that's plenty.
ค่ะ
มันใช้งานได้อย่างดีเยี่ยมมาก แล้วก็ขอบคุณมากๆที่วันนี้พี่แขกแลกเปลี่ยนความคิดที่หลายๆ คนอาจจะมันเหมือนเป็นกับดักเหมือนกันนะพี่แขกมันทำให้เราติดอยู่กับว่าต้องพูดภาษาอังกฤษได้สิมันถึงจะดี ก็อาจจะแต่ไม่ได้จำเป็นไม่ใช่เป็นสิ่งที่สำคัญที่สุดสำหรับนักการเมือง
But what I want the most, I want Thai people to feel comfortable with English. I want people to embrace English as our own language. This is what I dream to see. And I want to tell everyone that speak English in your own way.
Yeah. Because
You can speak in like Mia Chow style. You know why we laugh at Mia Chow style?
Yeah.
Just express whatever in your mind. And if you practice or if you keep that thing with you long enough, people will adapt themselves into your style.
exactly just be yourself talk in your own way
ใช่
จริงครับ because even in Thai we talk differently ภาษาไทยผมภาษาไทยพี่แขกก็ต่างสำเนียงกัน เพราะเราเป็นคนละคนกัน แต่เราก็เข้าใจกันได้
And language, you can separate language from culture. And some metaphor have a cultural references. So we don't speak English like American or like people in any other culture. We will speak English from our own worldview.
yeah
Like I born in Thailand, I have seen all this stuff going on, and I have eat som tam for all of my life. So when I want to explain something to you, I might have a som tam metaphor, and you can start it from that. From what you from what you grow up with and feel
Right.
familiar with
พี่แขกคิดว่าอะไรทำให้คนไทยส่วนใหญ่ยังไม่สามารถพูดภาษาไทยพูดภาษาอังกฤษในแบบที่สามารถจะสื่อสารกับโลกได้
because we think back to the term that I told you at the beginning of the show that we look at English as a colonizer's language. And we added a social status to English. We tended or we are made to believe that language doesn't belong to common people. English language belong to elite. English language is belong to rich people who afford international school for their kids, who afford to send their kids to studying abroad. You look at the idiom we use in our daily life เรียนจบเมืองนอก What the hell is เมืองนอก So เมืองนอก doesn't mean เวียดนามใช่ไหม เมืองนอก doesn't mean ลาวเมืองนอก doesn't mean พม่า เมืองนอก What country in your imagination when you heard the word เมืองนอก อังกฤษ อเมริกา ยุโรปใช่ไหมล่ะ So this is all colonizers empire หมดเลย So and then we fix ourselves that if we are pride, if we are commoner, English is not belong to us. And when we started to speak English, people will laugh at us. And people will categorize who is who by the type of English they use. This is Mia Chow's English. This is very Thai English. This is Oxbridge English. This is international school kids English. They have their own culture.
Yeah.
They have their own way to use English, right?
so always
This is expat English.
yeah status always attached with your English
And then we have a inferiority complex that if I started to speak English, people will laugh at me and people will know that I am very I'm very pride, very ต่ำ I'm uneducated.
because I don't sound like
I'm not
international school kids
ใช่
Yeah.
I'm not sound like คุณทิมพิธา I'm not sound like คุณท็อป Wow คุณท็อป English accent is wow and who I am from สันขยอม and I will start speak English in สันขยอม style what people gonna think about me so I have a defensive mechanism เราไม่เคยเป็นเมืองขึ้นของใครทำไมเราต้องพูดภาษาอังกฤษนี่ไม่ใช่ภาษาพ่อภาษาแม่ทำไมเราต้องพูดด้วย
เราได้ยินคำพูดแบบนี้เยอะมากแล้วก็อาจจะยังมีอีกหลายเหตุผลที่ทำให้คนรู้สึกว่าไม่เห็นจะไม่ต้องใช้เลยเพราะว่าไม่ใช่ภาษาพ่อภาษาแม่ so the attitude of people toward the English language is what stops or prevents them
right.
from being able to talk
And among ourselves, that you try to categorize people from the accent or from the English style they talk. It stop us. It stop ourselves to be able to communicate in whatever language.
แต่ถ้าเกิดเป็นบริบทอื่นๆที่ไม่ใช่ในรายการนี้พี่แขกก็จะไม่พบว่าตัวเองมีโอกาสในการพูดคุยภาษาอังกฤษในชีวิตประจำวันกับคนโดยทั่วไป
Sure.
ใช่ไหมครับ
ใช่
Yeah because
ใช่
it's the matter of who you're talking to or like where you are at the moment and is it okay or is it usual or normal for people to speak English in that circumstance
And we have a tendency to look at people who speak English like ดัดจริต
So do you think we are ดัดจริต now
Let me think. Can be.
Okay
People
Okay.
can look at us like why that Jarit speak English to each other.
But do you think that we are Dattarit right now?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not
Why?
not at all.
Because
I myself want to embrace English to be our national language.
okay.
So it cannot be that Jarit.
Right.
If we want to speak English in a very British accent now, we are that Jarit. We want to be a queen.
Yeah, because that's not our accent.
ใช่
And we try to sound better than
ใช่
than our true self.
ใช่
Uh-huh.
ใช่
นั่นคือ
ใช่
Dattarit เนาะ
ใช่ แต่ก็ไม่จำเป็นนะ I mean speak whatever you like
Okay. In whichever way you want.
whatever you think you comfortable ใช่ไหมล่ะ whatever
จริง
make you comfortable do it regardless what people think about you
That's true, and that could be seen as very brave. But I think we shouldn't look at someone who do that as brave. We should look at people who do that as normal.
we going to normalize it
Yes.
speak English and Thai in the same sentence is normal
Okay. แสดงว่าพี่แขมมีปัญหากับคำที่ว่าพูดอังกฤษคำไทยคำ You think that's problematic?
that's problematic I myself practice this thing all the time I always added English word term vocabulary when I speak in my show in my program when I give an opinion or when I try to explain some story to the audience and I got a complaint in the comments that ทำไมถึงพูดไทยคำภาษาอังกฤษคำมันเข้าใจยากเข้าใจไหมมันไม่ใช่คนไทยทุกคนที่จะรู้ภาษาอังกฤษเหล่านี้ and I try to explain to them that every time I ทับศัพท์ I will try to translate that ศัพท์ and I will try to explain to all of you that why I got to ทับศัพท์ because I can't find a proper Thai language for this term. And I practiced this style for more than 10 years and I think right now people get used to it and people adopt my way
Yeah.
to their life.
Right.
And right now when we read Twitter or social media you see people have started to blend English
Yeah.
with their Thai language. Or we can see that when they write English, they blend Thai into their English.
Wow.
And I met so many scholars who do Thai studies, like Japanese and American, and so people from all over the world, when they do Thai studies, they so very adopt Thai language into their mother tongue.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. It's languages. Languages are tools
like
for us
abunai
to
means
talk.
อันตรายใช่ไหม in Japanese abunai and my Japanese friend like อันตราคุไน
Oh, it's a blend of
ใช่
the two language.
ใช่
Wow,
so I think this
that's
is
nice.
fun you can hybrid you can blend you can make your own style of language you use this is a creativity that should happen in our life
Yeah.
and it's fun
I agree with you. Language is fun. Yeah. You've mentioned before when we talked before we started the show about the word lost in translation. And you seem to take a great interest in this concept. And you've got something for us, don't you?
I do my homework because the show called คำนี้ดี and จะใช้ว่า I want to ชวนคุยอะ
Okay.
ใช้คำว่าอะไรในภาษาอั
So
งกฤษ
engage you in the conversation? Well, I'm going to talk
I
about...
want to raise awareness
All right.
about loss in translation from English into Thai because I found that there are so many words that we use officially, and then we translate it back into English, and it doesn't make sense, or a very important vocabulary or term that affect us politically, and when we translate it into Thai, it lost its meaning, political meaning in that
Okay.
word.
Okay.
For example, university.
University? It seems like a very common word that we all understand.
University, it comes from universe,
Okay.
จักรวาล
Oh, okay.
สากล universal สากลใช่ไหมล่ะ and why is มหาวิทยาลัยคะ anyone can tell me why university is มหาวิทยาลัย does it mean universal or สากล it should be สากลวิทยาลัยถูกไหม
สากลวิทยาลัย Wow.
it can be มหาวิทยาลัย มหาวิทยาลัย means a great what a great ความรู้เหรอ a great school
Yeah.
มหาวิทยาลัย is just a expansion version of school
Yeah.
but it's not
Okay.
you graduated from high school and then you enter to the สากลวิทยาลัยนะ you got to be universal you got to connect with the universe not just a bigger term of school and you see and we lost the meaning of what university should be and then you just learn something that a little bit more difficult than you have learned in high school
Exactly.
you have never been developed your critical thinking or connect yourself philosophically that means universe you got to be philosophist for some point of view right
Right. I
See,
never
this
thought of
is
it that way.
lost in translation.
Yeah,
This is the
university,
homework
universal.
This is the homework that I have done for รายการคำนี้ดี
Wow, we really appreciate it. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, we kind of forgot about that concept, like altogether, like universe,
and we
university.
take for granted for our whole life. Right มหาวิทยาลัย yes มหาวิทยาลัย what the fuck that means tell me anyone tell me what the fuck that means
So you think we should start calling มหาวิทยาลัยสากลและวิทยาลัย
I don't know
But
we
that's
should
what it means, right?
we better start thinking about it and stop taking for granted
Yep.
when we heard the word that we are so very used to it another word พิพิธภัณฑ์
พิพิธภัณฑ์ Okay. So museum, right? From English.
ใช่
And when we translate it to Thai, we call พิพิธภัณฑ์ What's wrong with that?
muse what does it mean muse
เทพธิดา
ลูก
ผู้
ของ
ให้
Zeus
แรงบันดาลใจ
It's Zeus daughter inspiration art inspiration and พิพิธภัณฑ์ mean what does พิพิธ mean
พิพิธ means does it mean
miscellaneous
really I never knew that เบ็ดเตล็ดอย่างเงี้ยเหรอ
เบ็
ค
ด
รับ
เตล็ด
เหรอ
พิพิธ mean เบ็ดเตล็ดดังนั้นพิพิธภัณฑ์ means a place where we collect
and display
and
เบ็ดเตล็ด
display
items
เบ็ดเตล็ด items and it doesn't inspire
yeah
it doesn't means art and science as muse should
Are supposed
refer
to be, yeah.
ใช่ไหมล่ะ because muse mean art and science and inspiration and Zeus daughter you are my muse
yeah
so a museum should be a place that be our muse people's muse not just a miscellaneous place
This is I get educated today because I never knew and thought about those words about its origin before. Yeah, because when you mention พิพิธภัณฑ์ and all of a sudden museum, I never thought of the word muse. Yeah,
นี่มันน่า
that's
กลัว
such a
มากเลย
shame
นะ
that we lost that in the translation.
lost in translation and ราชทัณฑ์
ราชทัณฑ์ okay ราชทัณฑ์
what is
What's ราชทัณฑ์ in English?
Departments of Corrections departments
Correction.
of corrections. You have done something wrong and you are sent to be correct, to be a better people after you get off from the jail.
แก้ไขปรับปรุง
แก้ไขปรับปรุง but ราชทาน means royal penalty
ลงโทษ
royal ด้วยราชา
ราชทัณฑ์ราชะ
royal punishment เหรอ
royal punishment
No. So and this is so very important now because we use it officially อ่ะเป็นราชการ and then ราชการ bureaucratic
yeah
and how come bureaucratic mean ราชการคะ bureaucratic mean ธุรการอ่ะ department of ธุรการข้าราชการทุกคนเป็นพนักงานธุรการ
ครับ
and then we translate bureaucratic into
ราชการ
so high so important so above of us
it's not about people anymore
it's not about do a documents paperwork for people you are ข้าราชการ your job is do something like paperwork for us facilitate us for เอกสารต่างๆคือระบบการทำงานแบบงานธุรการใช่ไหม bureaucratic อะ and why it translated into ราชะ again ราชะ this is a lot in translation and I have I prepare a lot นะหน้าที่พลเมือง
duty civic something or what's the word in
วิ
English
ชาหน้าที่พลเมือง civics education
civic education civic right
and civic education why you translated into หน้าที่พลเมือง civilians duty
civilians duty so
ใช่ไหมหน้า
civic
ที่
education
civic education means the education that teach you what is your right you have a right you liberty freedom you are the owner of the country you own the authority political authority this is civics education it taught you how to be how to look at the nation as it's yours the nation belong to you then you have a right you have political right and what is political right you have in your hands this is civics education and this is very very important subject that every school got to teach students you got to teach them how to be a civil how to be a civilian how to be a พลเมือง who have right for your own you won't let ข้าราชการเอาเปรียบ you won't let politician corrupt you won't let ทหารdone a coup d'etat because this is so wrong because this right is belong to you this is civic education but we transfer civic education to
หน้าที่ พลเมือง
what I have to do for my country this is it's like turn things upside down อ่ะ
it's almost the opposite we're supposed to teach them
ใช่
that what right they have but now we are telling them that you have the duties to do in order to be called a good civilians wow just a choice of word that we choose the word wrong and it totally changed the
perception ใช่ so language is about perception and if you and it's a power and who can define or who can fix vocabulary those grab a power or those dominate our mind and our opinion our thought our ideology
wow from now on we have to keep an eye on the translation of the words from English and Thai and ask ourselves if this translates properly or correctly ผมชอบ muse กับ museum มากเลยครับพี่แขก
translate I mean not correctly you choose to translate to empower whom
okay so for your advantage
ใช่
Okay.
You have a choice to translate that term or that word to disadvantage whom or disempowering whom. Or as a people, we got to fight for that tools, the right or a power to translate a word, a vocabulary to empower ourselves against those who used to do in the past.
พี่แขกมีคำโปรดไหมครับ Do you have your favorite words like all-time favorite words ever that you want to share with us
In English?
yeah or it could be in Thai too or it could be กำเมือง as well
ไม่มีนะ
เหรอฮะ
คือเช่นอะไรอ่ะ favorite word คือคำที่เราพูดบ่อยๆ หรือว่าอะไรหรือว่า
or words that really speaks to you in some way or words that you think is very important that people should be more aware of or something like that
ถ้าให้พูดเลยอ่ะ
ฮะ
จะคิดไม่ออกเลย
โอเค
เดี๋ยวนะ พูดไปเรื่อยๆอ่ะ
หรือมีคำติดปากไหมฮะ
พี่ว่ามันไม่ใช่
พี่ว่ามันไม่ใช่
It's like your first question agree or disagree
ครับ
that Thai leader should be
Have to
able to speak
yeah
English
well
well พี่ว่าคำถามนี้มันไม่ใช่
you're asking the wrong question maybe we should adjust your question a little พี่ว่ามันไม่ใช่ I like it
it doesn't make sense จะพูดบ่อย
ครับ เพราะว่าพี่แขกจะ detect อะไรที่มันไม่น่าจะใช่ได้บ่อยๆ ในสังคมไทยเนาะ
It's wrong from the beginning
oh this is good too it's wrong from the beginning เริ่มต้นก็ผิดแล้ว oh I like that okay so
เหมือนติดกระดุมผิดเม็ดอะ
ใช่ไหมครับ ตั้งแต่เม็ดแรก
ใช่
ก็จะผิดทั้งหมดเลยโอเค อันนี้เอาไปใช้กันได้นะครับ good so do you have anything that you want to talk but never get a chance to talk because from my point of view you always can talk about anything on your mind and you're not afraid to voice your opinion at all but is there anything at all that you have never gotten a chance to talk about yet
Not at all
so you've talked about everything that you want to
แปลกไหม
สำหรับหลายๆคนอาจจะรู้สึกแปลกนะครับ ว่าไม่เคยมีอะไรที่ต้องเก็บไว้ในใจเลยคำปากาสามารถพูดได้ทุกเรื่อง ถามได้ทุกคำถาม
I mean it have never come up in my mind that I can say about this thing when I want to give my opinion in any subject I will just sit and tell people that look this is wrong and I will tell you why it's wrong and I will tell you what is my opinion and I will tell you what is my standing point I don't like the way we hide our standing point our position because if we don't declare our position first we can make our conversation further in a fruitful way in a constructive way if you want a constructive conversation you got to be very very honest to yourself and very honest to your partner the one who you are talking to you got to honest with them and you got to tell them who you are what do you think what is your belief and then our conversation will be very very constructive otherwise you waste of your time ค่ะ so there is nothing I hide there is nothing that I think I can talk about it this is so embarrassing is a word that I don't register in my dictionary
we should be embarrassed to talk about anything
ใช่
that matters
ใช่
yeah okay so last question is there anything that you think you talk about too often and you wish you can stop talking about for good because it has been a problem so much that just stop with this already.
Democracy is about the majority.
Yeah.
The one thing about democracy, you got to believe, you got to trust, you got to respect what the majority choose. Even you don't agree with them, even you hate them, even you think they are so wrong, even you think they are so stupid, even you think they are going to destroy everything by the wrong choice they choose. You got to shut your mouth up and be patient and wait until the next election come again. And you got to believe that we are all have one vote for ourselves, and your one vote is equal to other people's vote. You got only one. Other people got only one too. And you got to respect each other. ค่ะ I wish I not to talk about this again and again.
This should be a common knowledge and we don't have to discuss about this. Yeah.
ใช่ไหมล่ะ and why we still discussing about this stuff what happened to this country ค่ะ 300,000 เสียงคุณภาพ come on shut up you have one I have one ค่ะ
Thank you so much. It has been a great talk and very eye-opening. Totally eye-opening on that lost in translation part. And I'm so great and grateful and I'm so glad that you're here on our show
ขอบ
today.
คุณค่ะ
ขอบคุณมากๆครับพี่แขกครับสวัสดีครับ
ขอบคุณค่ะ
เราอยู่ในยุคแห่งความไม่รู้ คนเปลี่ยน ผู้นำต้องเปลี่ยน The Invisible Leader ผู้นำล่องหนคู่มือผู้นำและนักธุรกิจแห่งศตวรรษ 21 โดยผมเคนนครินทร์ วรรณกิจไพบูลย์นี่คือหนังสือที่เป็นเหมือนบทสรุปการพัฒนาความเป็นผู้นำจากผู้นำตัวจริงเสียงจริงหลายร้อยชีวิตของประเทศไทยที่หาอ่านที่ไหนไม่ได้ มีเครื่องมือในการเรียนรู้ด้วยตัวเองไม่ว่าจะเป็นเช็คลิสต์ Key Takeaway Framework เหมาะสำหรับทุกคนที่อยากจะพัฒนาตัวเอง พร้อมเปลือยเบื้องหลังการปั้น The Standard ที่เต็มไปด้วยความมุ่งมั่น ความล้มเหลว รอยยิ้มและคราบน้ำตาที่ไม่เคยเปิดเผยที่ไหนมาก่อน เป็นเจ้าของหนังสือ The Invisible Leader ผู้นำล่องหนก่อนใครได้แล้ววันนี้ครับ